There are times when the world of fame feels untouchable, glittering, and safe. But then a single revelation cracks that illusion, and suddenly the stars we admire seem fragile, human, and vulnerable. That is what has happened now with Blake Lively. The beloved actress, who has long been a symbol of grace and charm, finds herself at the center of a storm. A storm that has unexpectedly drawn Justin Baldoni into its path. For years, Blake Lively has been celebrated not only for her beauty and talent, but for the way she seemed to carry herself with dignity. She was the shining face of Hollywood perfection, the kind of star who felt both glamorous and approachable. But when a bombshell like this surfaces, everything begins to shift. And in the middle of that shift stands Justin Baldoni, a man who built his reputation on compassion, honesty, and the desire to inspire something greater in others. To the fans, this feels like betrayal. To the public, it feels like shock. To the people who once believed in the untouchable magic of Hollywood, it feels like heartbreak. Because when two figures as admired as Blake and Justin become linked in a story filled with questions, doubts, and revelations, it forces us to face a truth we often try to ignore. Even the brightest lights can cast shadows. This story is not just about a scandal. It is about the way we see our heroes. It is about the fragile line between admiration and disappointment. And it is about how quickly lives can change when the eyes of the world refuse to look away. As social media erupts, as fans cry out in disbelief, and as news outlets dissect every detail, one truth rises above the noise. This is not just Blake's story. This is not just Justin's story. It is a reflection of our own fascination with fame, and the way we cling to the idea that our stars can never fall. Every great story has a beginning, and Blake Lively's story began in a world that seemed both ordinary and extraordinary. She was not a stranger to Hollywood. Her father was an actor, and her mother worked as a talent scout. So from the very start, the bright lights of the industry were never too far away. But even with those lights around her, Blake carried something different. She carried a quiet magic that made people stop and look twice. Born in August of 1987, Blake Christina Lively entered this world with eyes that seemed to carry dreams bigger than the world she was born into. Family, friends, and teachers would later recall the way she could lift a room with her smile. She was warm, approachable, the kind of girl who made others feel seen and valued. And maybe that was her secret. Long before fame ever came her way, Blake Lively knew how to touch hearts. Her first real chance came with the movie Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. She was only a teenager stepping onto a film set with dreams, but what the world saw was unforgettable. She played Bridget, a girl filled with energy and vulnerability, a girl who reminded young audiences that strength and pain can live in the same soul. People walked out of that film remembering not just the story, but Blake herself. They saw someone who could capture youth, hope, and heartbreak in a way that felt real. But destiny had more in store. In 2007, Gossip Girl was born, and with it came Serena van der Woodsen, a name that would echo for years. Blake was not just acting on that show. She was carrying a generation. Serena became an icon of beauty, fashion, and mystery. Yet behind the scenes, it was Blake who breathed life into her character. She turned a character on paper into a cultural phenomenon. And suddenly, Blake Lively was no longer just a promising actress. She was the face of a movement. Fans adored her. They copied her fashion, they studied her interviews, they dreamed of living even a small part of her glamorous life. But what made Blake unique was that she never let the fame consume her. She kept a piece of herself guarded. She spoke often of family, of home, of wanting to live a life that was real, not just staged. For many, she became proof that Hollywood could still produce someone authentic, someone who did not lose herself to the flashing cameras. Then came Ryan Reynolds. Together, they became one of the most admired couples in Hollywood. Their love story seems almost too perfect. Their laughter in interviews, their playful banter, their devotion to their children. It painted a picture of stability in a world where love stories often fade. Blake was not only a star, she was a wife, a mother, and a role model. She embodied the dream that you could have it all: fame, success, love, and family. And that is what makes this moment so emotional. Because for years, Blake Lively has been untouchable. She has been the actress who walked through scandals and storms untouched by the chaos. She has been the golden girl who reminded fans that Hollywood could still sparkle with something pure. So when her name is suddenly tied to a bombshell, a scandal that no one saw coming, it does more than shock. It hurts. Fans who grew